Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Frozen Fortunes. If you are enjoying this series, I'm just trying to gauge the interest at this point, do drop a like on the video, that would be really, really cool. Now, as you can see, we've played some games finally. We're finally getting into the stretch of the season. I've changed the filters on this menu so we get rid of the friendlies just because I find that they take up so much of the screen that we could really be concentrating on with the actual games. And before we get into anything else, some people pointed this out and I need to clarify this. In the intro, the bit where it says Frozen Fortunes, that city in the background is Lilyhammer. Now, I didn't actually know that it was Lilyhammer, but I did know that it wasn't in Greenland. Essentially, I was going to be using some drone footage for a joke I was going to make in the original iteration of this, but it just wasn't quite working out. It's all saved in a big folder called Not Greenland, basically. Unfortunately, aerial drone footage of Greenland isn't exactly freely available for download and use, so I had to kind of make the best of what I could do. So, in the last episode, we lost 2-0 away at Shellerup. I thought it was a good performance. A lot of you guys in the comments thought that it was a decent performance and just to sort of stick with it, and I kind of agreed with that. So when I was going to play these games, the main plan was to play my Snowpiercer tactic at home and try Bjornar's version of it away from home. And the first thing we did in the next game against Naseby in the Cup was do exactly that. Unfortunately, I mean, as you can see, Andrew Nicol actually gave us the lead. He scored a goal, but we were rubbish. I think we had maybe one shot in the entire game, and it was Nicol's goal. So that's a little bit deceiving. Would have been a bit better if we hadn't conceded a 90th minute goal to lose the game, but shit happens, basically. So we had to just kind of move on. I was kind of happy with that, though, because we're out the Cup. Sure, we could have got some money for it, but at least it allowed us to concentrate on the league. Next game comes along at home to Leasing, and I'm like, right, good. We've got a chance to play our home tactic. All is well. All was not well. As you can see again, Andrew Nicol gave us the lead. Made it 2-1, 1-0 rather, with 9 minutes to go. And I thought, brilliant. We played pretty badly for the most part, and it did not look like we were going to win the game. But when Nicol gave us the lead, I thought, excellent. And then we almost immediately went and conceded a penalty, which they scored, and then got another one from a set piece. Set piece defending is an area we really do need to work on, because I just have the default tactics for that, because I cannot seem to make anything work. So that's something we could really do with some input on. So if you've got any ideas for defending set piece strategy, then do let me know, because I'd be very interested in that. That then left me a little bit worried moving into the next game against Jammerbugt because we were away from home this time. And I actually tried out a different system, the one that you might have not actually seen, but you'd have seen it in the menu called Away, I think. Did not work. We were very, very average in this game, as you can see. We were very, very poor. Also, worth noting that we picked up 3 injuries in the game against Leasing. Rasmus Bigler tore a cruciate ligament, I think, and he's going to be out for 2 months. So we only really got a small taste of first-team football before being sent to the hospital, basically. I say basically a lot. It's really difficult to stop speaking like that, I promise. So for our next game, I decided that we'd go back to the original system that Bjornar suggested, and we actually played quite well. Despite getting Simon Corner sent off, we played all right. They took the lead in the 50th minute. Then Nicky Steffensen equalised for us. We put really, really good, I think. In this game, we'll just show you the game, actually, and show you the stats. We played really well. We created more chances than them, had more possession. Nicky Steffensen scored a great... Oh, no, he didn't. Actually, I'm going to show you Nicky Steffensen's goal, because this is just pure nonsense. Look, this is probably one of the stupidest things I've seen in a very, very long time. So this was Steffensen's goal. This is probably one of the most ridiculous goals I've seen on FM for quite some time. So it's a simple long ball knocked over the top from Rasmus Kramer here. Eventually, the ball is just going to trickle back to the goalkeeper, and then... What? What are you doing? So that was how we equalised in this game. Not exactly champagne football, shall we say, but we did get an equaliser, and then Corner got himself sent off as well, which was brilliant. But we held on for the point, our first point of the season, so I'm pretty pleased with that. But we did need to make some changes. So, can you guess where I started making changes? We had a home game against Odder, who not doing great in the league, admittedly. They're a better side than the league suggests, but they did start with a negative points tally, which doesn't help you in many ways. So, changes I made, which I'll explain properly in a minute, was to stop playing a defensive forward and just drop him up to being a poacher, because Nygård was not getting enough chances and he was just doing nothing in the team. And as you can see, he had a pretty damn good game once we moved him up. The other change we made is to get my goalkeeper to distribute to the centre-backs, or failing that, the full-backs. I thought I had that on, but I must have switched it off at some point because we were just lumping balls aimlessly down the field to nobody, and it wasn't working for us. Whereas starting from the centre-backs meant that we could pick better passes, and it worked brilliantly. In this game, for me, Nygård was brilliant, but the man of the match in this game was Søren Dirmus, or however you spell his name, or say it rather. He got 3 assists in that game, just lumping balls over the top, which our strikers were getting onto and gobbling up chances. Which is why, as you notice, that the midfield pairing has changed quite dramatically from Roda and Mikkelsen to being Dirmus and Benson, because they have been excellent for us in these couple of games. Benson wasn't quite so good in this one, but Dirmus was amazing. So I thought, okay, win against the bottom side. Fine. Next up, we had VSK Aarhus, and suddenly we're back again. Diarmus wasn't so good in this one, but we spread the goals around a little bit. Most notably, not the sort of strikers in this game. Ibsen got a goal from a set piece, Berger did get one, and Nygård got another one. So things are looking up a little bit. In fact, we'll just show you the league table so you can kind of see, or move my face cam over to the side. We still sit 7th. I appreciate that, but we've really got ourselves some momentum now. 2 wins on the bounce and a game in hand. And if we win today against Sidvest, we'd actually go into the promotion spots. Well, not promotion spots, the next round spots, if you like. So out of nowhere, we've come from being really crap to not half bad. And if we win today, that would be 3 straight wins, which when you consider where we're expected to finish this year, which I imagine is still 1,000 to 1, let's have a little gander. Yep, still 1,000 to 1. Think about that as to use that to sort of judge how well we should be doing, because I'd be very surprised if we don't end up in a relegation scrap this year. But if we can do anything above that, then it will, frankly, by my standards, be a success. So I built this sort of squad view screen so we could get everything into one screen to sort of give us an idea of what's working and what isn't. So we've got all sorts of things from shots on target percentage, assists per 90 minutes, chances created per 90 minutes, because I want to be able to see at a glance who is performing well in our squad and who really needs to be dropped. So I dropped Gregerson for a while because he was notoriously, well, not notorious, he was regularly getting 6.1s, and that's not good enough for a defender in this team. Another thing someone pointed out was that Dara O'Reilly, as I called him, is actually Dara O'Reilly. So thanks for pointing that out, because I always struggle with Irish names. I try my best, but it's a minefield sometimes. So I'm glad I've got that one under control. If there's any more that you see that are Irish and I've not said yet, or not said them wrong yet, do let me know in advance so I don't make a tit of myself when it comes to it later. Just looking at the medical centre for a second, as you can see, Rasmus Bigler, he's got a torn groin muscle, not a cruciate ligament. He's going to be out for quite a while yet, so I wouldn't expect to see him back anytime soon. Well, I mean, it's going to take him a while to rehabilitate as well. Nicky Stephenson picked up a gashed head in the last game, so I do think we might have to start someone else for this game, but that's fine. We've got plenty of players that can come in now, and I'm really starting to like some of the players we already had at the club as opposed to some of the guys I brought in, because I'd rather play a guy who's maybe a tiny bit worse but has got potential to get a lot better, because the only way he's going to get better is by match practice, and that's why I think playing Diarmus and Benson in the middle is a much better idea. They might not even be that old, or young rather, just because they're regens that makes me immediately think that they're going to be young, but they might not be. We'll have a look in a minute, actually. So Soren Diarmus is actually 16 years old. Now, his passing isn't fantastic, and his vision isn't great either, but he has picked some absolutely stunning balls out in the past couple of games, so I don't know where that's come from. I'm trying to see if there's any stats of his that would suggest that, but he just seems to be excellent at it, so I'm not going to knock it. And also Dan Benson, who is also 16 years old. Now, I've been using him as a kind of ball-winning midfielder. He's more of a defensive midfielder by trade, but we trained him to play a slightly higher up position. He's got decent tackling. His passing isn't bad either. And again, like, his tackling and marking aren't amazing, but I guess they're good for the level. He's unambitious, which could maybe cause an issue, but he's already now rated at 2.5 stars, which is fantastic when you consider that I think he was already maybe like a 1-star player when this save started. So he has really grown. All that, and I'm completely overestimating how good he is. But we'll find out soon, I expect. So, of course, looking at this, we are once again the outsider for this one, but that's going to be the case for virtually every game. But we can go above them with a win. We've got a decent goal difference for a team that are down in 7th, admittedly with the game in hand, so it's not too bad. Otter actually probably are still the worst team in the league despite their negative points tally at the moment. I thought they were a bit better than that, but we kind of showed them up when we played them, so maybe they're not as good as I thought they were. So for this game, we're going to go with my Snowpiercer idea, and as you can see the changes, Nygård, instead of being a defensive forward, is now pushed up into a poacher role just because that's what he's good at. I was going to go for advanced forward, but frankly, we might as well just play him where he's good. Other changes, I've made Ibsen a stopper. This I don't think has had any impact, or as far as I know, but the idea was to try and get him to push up into that defensive midfield role every now and then to try and cut things out. Don't know how well that's going to work. Don't think our success has relied on that. I think the main reason for the success is having that role differently and allowing my goalkeeper to distribute to the centre-backs and failing at the full-backs, because it's given us way more possession. Well, not way more, but a little bit more control over it, essentially. That's the only changes I've made. So Stephenson probably isn't going to be able to start this game. He's not got good... I mean, it's only a... Nah, we can't risk him, really. So instead of him, we're probably going to put in Franson. With Simon Corner, some people said maybe play him as a deep line playmaker because of his stats, and I might start doing that, but I kind of want to just go with what we've got at the moment to try and build some cohesion and partnerships. Actually, I'd be tempted to put Soren Berger in. Oh, no, he's already in, isn't he? Of course. We'll go with Alan Franson then for now. Andrew Nicol on the bench. It's coming. He's scored a couple of goals for us this year, which is more than we can say for some of the others. So maybe we should give him a chance. If Franson doesn't score today, then I'll start Nicol the next chance I get, basically. So we're going to go with this lineup. We're going to have Kouston on the bench, who I've never heard of at all. Gunnarsson, obviously, our centre-back. Mikkelsen, corner. Jakobsen, Rode, and B-scored. It did want me to put Stephenson on the bench, but I don't see the point given that he's got that injury. I don't want to risk him and make it worse. Most of the team is good on match fitness, apart from Søren Berger, but he's not going to gain match fitness unless we give him a try. And he has actually played all right, as you can see. 7.07 is pretty damn good in this team. The only players that are really tracking higher are Finn Pedersen and obviously my man in the midfield, Deermoos. If someone could tell me how to pronounce that surname, I'd be most appreciative, because it feels a bit weird to me saying it. It just doesn't feel right. Just been pointed out that I have to have 3 outfield players on the bench that are under 21. So we've put Tommy Peterson on the bench because he's the first one I could find, basically. So Kerner's dropped out, but I don't think that makes much of a difference in the long run. So that's the team we're going to go with. Hopefully, we can make it 3 wins out of 3. That's the plan, anyway. Someone also pointed out, yes, we do have this instant result thing. It's part of the skin, and I couldn't seem to find a way to get rid of it from the skin. So if you do know, that'd be cool, because I don't want to use it, obviously. But I don't want people thinking that I am using it, because that would be kind of disingenuous. And if there was a way I could just remove it from this skin whilst keeping the rest of the skin, that would be great. Right, we're going to go passionate as well. I like to always go passionate with these things, and they never really seem to react well at the start of these games when I try to go passionate. So maybe I need to come up with a different approach to it, because it just does not seem to work for me at the moment. The other thing I wanted to do is add in some stats here. Right then, there we go. We've got some stats on the side now. I missed having that in the last episode because I couldn't actually see what was going on with regard to the game until we got the other screen up, which didn't exactly help. Now, I had some comments about, you should use the 3D match engine for everything, and I'm just not going to do that. I just don't think it looks very good, unfortunately, and I've always done it like this. I haven't used the 3D match engine to actually play the games since I started. Oh, we're already in the lead. Holy shit. Well, there you go. And look who's got the assist. It's my main man in the midfield. He could be one of the saviours for us this season. We're already winning. But yeah, 3D match engine, I'm not going to use it to play the actual games. We'll have the replays on 3D, obviously. But I just don't think it looks very good to actually play the game, and I can't really get into using it like that. I've done all my other videos with the 2D classic mode on, and everything's been fine with that. So if that isn't for you, totally understand it, but that's the way it's going to be for me on this channel. So they're getting a lot of possession so far, and I'm talking a lot. Not that it matters hugely, because of course we do have the lead and we're playing counter-attacking, so I don't really mind as long as they keep shooting from range like that. One of the things I've noticed a lot about this tactic is it does encourage teams to shoot from range. We are going to close down Simon Hansen a little bit. And someone else pointed out to me is the idea of maybe dropping my wingbacks down to just fullbacks on wingback mode, if you like, just to give us a little bit more defensive stability. And I did try that in one of the games, just to sort of close things out. So if we were to maybe get a second goal in this game and go 2-0 up, then I might be considerate open to the idea of pushing them back a little bit. But I don't want to drop back too early against a team that are really good, essentially. I'll tell you what, considering we scored the early goal in this game, we've not really done a lot since then. Not that it matters if we get the lead and we win the game, but I would like to see a bit more out of it. It's in at the back post again. It's a penalty! Oh, hello. I probably shouldn't have put Alan Franson on penalties, but hey, I guess if he's a good penalty taker, then that's fine. I don't know what his other stats are like. Hopefully we can score a penalty, and he has scored. We're 2-0 up in this game. This is what I mean. Suddenly the home form just seems to have come out of nowhere, and I don't really understand why. I think a helicopter just flew by the window, like a giant Chinook. I saw the rotor blades on the shadow behind the camera. That's so strange. There's a airbase near here. That's really weird. Maybe it's hopefully going to parachute in some support here. So far, so good, though. We're winning a lot of tackles, which is pleasant. Passes completed is a little low, but I think a lot of that comes from us playing such long passes a lot of the time. Assists-wise, did we not get an assist for that goal? I'm trying to think. I can't even imagine what just happened with the goal. I've literally forgotten the goal. Oh, it was a penalty. Why would there be an assist? Actually, I swear on old FMs, the guy who got fouled for the penalty used to get the assist for it. Nigar's through again. Can we make it 3-0? Oh, I tell you what. Chance creation in this game has been excellent. They've had a clear-cut opportunity with that header, I think, but we've been really, really good. First half, 2-0 up. This is what I'm talking about. If we can turn our home games and our home ground into a fortress by playing like this, then we're in for a really good season, or at least a not dreadful season. That pushes us up into 3rd place within a real chance. And even if we don't make the top 4 coming to the second half of the season, then we've still done enough to give ourselves a real good chance at staying up because we get the points against these teams into the next round of the fixtures. I'm tempted to try this out for the second half. So the idea was we move them back to there, essentially, and keep them on wing-backs, but then we can maybe push them onto an attacking kind of role, I guess. I'm not sure. We're going to try it out. We've got a 2-0 lead, and if it fucks up, then that's my fault, really, isn't it, for trying it out? But you don't learn these things unless you try it. So hopefully, this will make us a little bit more defensively solid, and we won't get caught out quite so much, just because their starting position might be slightly deeper. Dearmus, I thought he was going to deliver one of those brilliant passes over the top. We should be shaping up for some substitutions relatively soon. Nobody's lacking condition at the moment, which is nice to see. We've not picked up any niggling injuries. Nygaard is kind of the player I'm thinking of bringing off as a striker, although we could really do with the... Then again, I say you could do with the confidence. He's probably our best player in terms of strikers this season so far. He's looking composed. They're all looking quite good. Is there anyone that's playing that badly? Finn Pedersen is playing it excellently in centre-back now. Now that we've brought him back in, he's playing really well. Gregerson's doing okay today, so we can't be too mad at him. I am going to bring... Oh, no, we're not, because we don't have a striker on the bench. That's my fault, because I had to remove a striker to put Tommy Peterson on. That is totally my fault. So, with that in mind, I might get on Mikkelsen for Benson, just to try and steady the ship a little bit in the midfield. Hopefully, we can see this game out. I don't want to... This should be a long shot. Yeah, that's fine. We do seem to encourage teams to shoot from range quite regularly. As you can see, 4 of their 7 shots have been from range, and only 1 of our 4 has been from range. We've been very lucky, I think, today to get 2 good chances and take both of them. If we can see out the rest of this game at 2-0, that would also be 3 consecutive clean sheets. I've just held up 2 fingers when I said that, didn't I? Jesus Christ, man. 10 minutes to go. Things are looking good here. Finn Pedersen's clearly having an excellent game. Rasmus Kramer is looking a little bit light on fitness. My issue is, like, do I get Rasmus Kramer off? Because we've got 3 options on the bench. I don't know who's good, though, because of that. Let's take a little gander. So we've got Jonathan Kusten, who is, okay, pretty awful. We've got Jakob Jakobsen, who is mostly a centre-back, so we don't really want to risk him. And Tommy Peterson, who could be... Oh, I tell you what. He's light-hearted, too, so he'll G up the team. Let's get him on for Rasmus Kramer. Hopefully that should be enough. It might only make 2 substitutions in this game, because if we can see it out with the team as is, then I'll be pretty happy. Now, Peterson's not got a great deal of technical attributes, but where his strengths lie, I'm guessing this is going to be another long shot, yep, is his physical ones. It seems that he's got decent pace, which is kind of what I want from a player in this tactic. We've kind of stymied them for much of this game. They look like they were going to be a decent side to play against. Can we grab a 3rd goal late on, just like we did in the last game? It's into Berger. Oh, it's out to the box of Mikkelsen! And a long-range strike from us just to sort of finish things off here. I think if we can get to the 90th minute kind of time without conceding a goal, then we should be okay to get out of here. This has been weirdly strong defensively over the last few games. I don't know why, considering when I played this on my other version of the save to test things, we were scoring like 4s and 5s quite often in games, but regularly conceding 2 and 3 in those games. There was a lot of 5-2s and 4-1s and that sort of stuff. Don't foul him. Don't foul him. There we go. Well done. Another clean sheet would be very, very welcome at this point. Just, there we go. Keep him outside. There we go. We've won it. We've won 2-0 again. We've had a 4-0, a 3-0, a 2-0. We can get a 1-0 in the next game. That'd be pretty ideal as well. I'm really happy with that. The players' confidence is really improving as well. I'm really pleased with the result and the performance. The players don't seem that bothered by it. Don't know why. Finn Pedersen is man of the match as well, which is really nice. 3 clean sheets in a row. Got it right that time. Is excellent. Dearmus gets another assist, which is fantastic. So that leaves us 3rd in the league. We've got a +4 goal difference. We are right in this. Admittedly, there's also... Everyone's really right in this from 7 downwards. We could go on a really poor run and end up coming 7th. But when you look at some of the other teams around, particularly in this division, a lot of these teams have got quite a few less points than us, which is ideal. So it's been quite a turnaround. We started off by losing 4 games in a row competitively. Then we got the draw to turn things around. And now we've not conceded a goal in 3 games. Things really do seem to be turning the screw. And you've got to remember, 1,000 to 1 shot. So put your bets on now. You never know what's going to happen. In the next episode, we're going to come back and, amazingly, I think we're going to be playing against Seedvest again to finish off our last round of fixtures. Now, we've got how many home games and away games? We've got... I swear it feels like we're playing away every time I go to play a game off camera, but it's because we've had this little run of home games in a row. So we've actually got more away games to come than at home, but as long as we can try and take points from our home games, I think we can win all 3 of them. Honestly, I do. And I'm hoping that would get that would put us on 19 points. That might be enough to see us sneak into the promotion spots. I don't know. But even if we don't, it still would have been a good first season, and we really would be bombing through this year quite quickly, I'd have to say. Because the plan after this is, there's the big Christmas break. What I might do after that is, in the next episode after that, come back after the Christmas breaks. That'll take a little while to go through, but instead of just playing the first game back, we'll play like a double live com. So we get the first 2 games back, maybe a home game and an away game, so we can kind of see how things are shaping up. Well, that's the plan anyway. So if you have enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, do drop a like on the video. That'd be freaking awesome. And if you're new to the channel and you have enjoyed this video, then also hit that big subscribe button. There'll be one in the end cards, and obviously there's the button down below. But anyway, that is enough of that. Join us in the next episode for another game against Seedfest, just conveniently. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.